I'm Dr. Bill Kranz. I'm an associate professor of the Biological Systems Engineering Department and Extension Irrigation Specialist for the University of Nebraska.
Well, most of what I do is try to improve upon and get more production out of a limited resource. By and large, the water is my area of expertise, and so some people refer to it as crop per drop kind of thing, but to me it's just increasing production with less and less input. And so what we want to be able to do is to help producers, for me, for the most part here in the United States, be able to produce more grain and forage and fiber for every inch of water that we apply via irrigation, and then also to help them maintain productivity over time by protecting the environment and the areas that might be related to salt and other related issues. Well, for the most part, I have two parts of my job. One is to develop new technologies, new management practices, new ways basically of doing things related to application of irrigation water to a variety of crops. So, and from that perspective, I do some applied research basically for my part in terms of how you might manage the water application in a way that's going to get us more grain out of it every inch that we produce. This can involve work with new hybrids of corn, soybeans, and a variety of other crops that we might grow here in the state of Nebraska. And it also involves just how and when we put the water on to an irrigated field, whether we use a subsurface drip irrigation system or a center pivot or a furrow irrigation system. There are management practices we can do to improve the yield from that perspective. So developing new management practices is number one. Number two then is to try to educate the general public related to that. And so when I develop a new management practice that I think is applicable to the farming community in Nebraska, part of my position is the extension side, which is to teach producers how to utilize that to their best advantage. The water and groundwater is a public property, and so that's where the Department of Natural Resources can come in, and the NRD, the Nebraska Resources Districts, come in and they then implement rules that allow them to manage the groundwater that's there. And so the water and groundwater is owned by the people of the state, and landowners are given the privilege of using it. Well, as we look at the things that have come down the line in the last 10 years, certainly there's been an improvement in sprinkler, for center pivots, sprinkler packages that put on, where in many ways I think for center pivot irrigation, we're approaching the maximum water application efficiency we could get with those. Additional improvements are likely to come due to management, more so than to equipment. We have a little bit of subsurface drip irrigation system coming into the state of Nebraska now, and what that does is it eliminates some of the surface water evaporation that would take place as a result of irrigation. And so we're getting a bit more efficiency out of those particular systems.